Was sales kind of natural to you? Like, did you ever go about like I know you said that a lot of your marketing efforts was just publicity, but um, running a company you have to know sales. So, did you do any like training? Was it just natural?
I never did any formal sales training. I've always kind of had that personable
Right.
nature, which is a great asset, great
Yeah,
benefit, maybe a little humor
I
in
can
there
tell.
too. But both my parents are entrepreneurs, so I was
Okay,
definitely kind of brought up in an entrepreneurial environment,
that's
and
good. Yeah.
I've had that entrepreneurial mindset really from a young age, and
Okay.
so I think that's been a great way for me to just kind of have sort of a little bit of a natural feel for that sales
Right.
technique you were talking about.
Okay. How's the reaction from your friends and family when you first started? Is there any criticism? Were they supportive?
Most people were pretty supportive.
That's good.
It is a pretty wacky idea, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure a lot of people believed that it would grow to be as successful as it has. So I think it's caught a lot of people off guard,
Right.
by our sudden success, which is great. And my parents, like I said, both of them are entrepreneurs, so they were super supportive, and they know their stuff. So I really appreciate having them kind of along on this
Right.
journey and being able to learn from them.
Were you when you first started? Were you confident that this would grow into something big, or was it more of just like a passion? So and then do other people reflect on that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a
Okay.
little bit of both. I was pretty confident it would work out. I think you have to be
When you're on
to take that kind of risk. And I started the company entirely with my own money. There was no outside funding. It was all my personal savings. So when I started the company, I had to trust and be confident that it would work.
Okay.
And so I definitely was. But in addition to that, I mean, of course, you're always going to have people that say, "Oh no, that won't work," or
Yeah.
"That's a stupid idea," or whatever. But I think we've overcome that.
So, what was one of the biggest obstacles you had to like overcome, and how'd you go about doing that?
When I started the company, I was quite young. I still am.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people kind of don't take you seriously when you're a young entrepreneur.
Mhm.
And so that was a challenge. And I'm not sure there's a great way to, if you're young, you're young. There's no real way to change that. But I will say that as sales have grown, so has my confidence. And that certainly allowed me to overcome that now.
Yeah, success definitely shows a little bit of maturity. You've been through the whole process. What motivates you to keep going in this company? I don't know if you read a book, Why. I think I start with Why by Simon Sinek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have a why?
Yeah, I love entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I really love, getting my hands dirty in a company and watching me go from an idea, oh, it would be cool to put lights on skateboards, to seeing a physical product
Sure.
that you can hold and touch. I think that is so cool. So, obviously I'm really passionate about that. Certainly at this time of year around the holidays, board blazers are a really popular stocking stuffer. So there is a little element of playing Santa. I think that's kind of fun at this time of the year.
Yeah.
To see kids put it like on their Christmas list, and they really want board blazers, and getting to see them light up when they get board blazers. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's it. How do you feel when you see like your friends or just students around campus? Because I've seen it on ASU. So how do you feel when you actually personally see your own customers using it?
Oh, I mean, it's really personally gratifying,
Right,
fulfilling. And I think my proudest moment in the company was the first time that I saw somebody with board blazers just using it out in the wild.
Yeah.
And they had
Did they know who you were?
No, they had no idea who I was. So I just played dumb and talked to them and asked them about their boards. And, oh, that looks cool. And I mean, they were candid with me. They didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And they talked about how much they loved the product and, thought it was super cool. And they were just stoked about it. So
Awesome.
I think that was probably my proudest moment.
Yeah. So what's an average day like for you? I mean, you're here at SkySong, so is this like every day or?
Yeah, that's one of the great things about being an entrepreneur is you never do the same thing every day.
Right.
And if you are doing the same thing every day, you should hire somebody to take care of that.
Right.
So you got to do a little bit of everything. You do the marketing, you do the supply chain, you have to do the finance, you have to do the accounting. You get involved in every aspect. Management is a big part of my day. So every day I do a little bit of everything. So it's never really the same thing twice. And that's one thing that I love about my job.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. How many, do you have any employees? Or is it just like a one man, you get the work done,
So it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I'm the only full-time employee, but we have a whole team of contractors that
Oh, wow.
who are experts in their particular field that we use to fill in all the things I don't know about. So we've got quite a few of those, and they're really the brain power behind the operation.
Okay. And now, if anyone wanted to like maybe get an internship with you, is that possible? Or are you taking anything like that?
Oh, you bet, yeah. So you
Okay.
can always email us, contact us at grenadeinnovations.com.
Alright.
We're always looking for people.
I know you talked about this Christmas season is like very good for you guys. Is there another season that's really good? What are there any events that lead up to like more sales?
Yeah, there's all kinds of there's these weird little spikes throughout the year.
Right.
So the Christmas season in general is huge. It's really important to our business. In addition to that, there's a few funny things that you wouldn't expect. Like 4th of July is really big in advance of that because kids are going to be out, riding their fireworks when they're out at the late night fireworks shows and stuff. So 4th of July is big, and Halloween is big too because kids want to have their skateboards to ride around the neighborhood, and so we sell a lot of Boss Blacklight and Outrageous Orange around Halloween.
What other colors do you have?
Well, there's eight different colors. So there's Boss Blacklight, Outrageous Orange, Lightning Lime, Crazy Color Changing, Wild White, Poppin' Pink, and
That's awesome.
Radical Red, Blazing Blue. I think. Yeah, I think we got them all in there.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Are you going to be still working here, or you want to create more products?
Yeah, I've got a few ideas up my sleeve. I would like to continue to grow board glazers, and I putting the right people and processes in place to be able to do that it is really important. In addition, I know I'd like to go get my MBA.
Okay.
So that's a big goal of mine. And so hopefully we can, like I said, put those people and those processes in place so that I can kind of step away and do that while Board Blazers continues to thrive.
Okay. And what's your next most foremost kind of vision for the company? What's the next step?
So we've been very successful online. We're one of the top selling skateboard lighting products on Amazon. A ton of sales through our website, boardglazers.com. And we are in some retail stores, and we're continuing to push out and roll out into even more and more retail stores. So I think retail stores are kind of the new frontier for us as we continue to grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
What retail stores are you in right now?
Oh, I mean, all kinds of ones. We have from California to Florida. We're all sorts.
Wow. What are some of your thoughts on traditional schooling? Because I know you went to ASU. You were doing this whole thing half and half. So how was that?
Yeah, so many people ask me. They say, "Why? If I want to be an entrepreneur, why should I go get my college degree if I'm just going to work for myself?"
Right.
But I think it's so important to get your college degree because it gives you those foundational skills. It's not like I use calculus in every day with the business. If I'm using calculus, I probably mess something up. But it just gives you that kind of well-rounded foundational knowledge, and you just pull little bits and pieces from that every day. Not to mention the connections you make are terrific. So ASU, they've been terrifically supportive of the business, and those business contacts that I made when I was a student at ASU and at the Barrett Honors College have continued to be really valuable.
Okay. What advice would you give for people currently in school that kind of have that mentality? Because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are kind of like, what, my business is going well. Why am I still in school? I'm not learning the things I want to learn.
Yeah, well, I think we've all had an idea for a business at one point, like thought about, oh, this would be cool, and just you don't know what to do with that idea. And so I would challenge you and say, don't be afraid to start because you don't know how to do everything. There's so many aspects to starting a business, and you don't have to know how to do everything yourself. You can go out and you can find experts in those fields that you don't know how to do and create a team to be able to start a business. So it's important to don't let not knowing how to do something scare you away from starting a business.
You talked about your parents being like very big in your whole being raised up. Do you have any other role models that you particularly look up to? Do you have any mentors?
Yeah, we have a whole board of mentors that I've picked because I think they're really smart, knowledgeable, driven people. I think my biggest role model and mentor has been my dad. He has a company, Industry Mortgage Associates, that does commercial real estate. And one of the things that I think is really interesting about that is that commercial real estate and skateboard lights have nothing to do with each other. But he has this entrepreneurial mindset that I think is universal, no matter what type of company you're starting. And so being able to see that mindset and then apply it in a different industry has just really been impactful in my life.
So just closing up, What's your favorite quote? What do you think?
It's not necessarily a business quote, but it also is, and that is, character is what you do when no one else is watching. And I think that's really powerful and impactful because it reminds you that character is the result of choices that you make, and you can choose to have character. And so when things come up in your life, when things come up in your business, and you're not quite sure which way to turn, when you fall back on that quote, character is what you do when no one else is watching.
That is really
I think the right way to turn will become clear.
And any just closing thoughts on people that like to follow up in your footsteps?
Absolutely. Go check out boardblazers.com. That's the best place to get
This guy's a genius.
what seems to be the hottest Christmas item of the year.
Yeah. All right, man.
Great. Thank you.